Hello, one and all. This is Lovelocks. Welcome back to 999. Pretty disturbing scene that we just witnessed. My first inclination, though, is to think that 9 didn't really die there. It seemed a bit set up. I'm very suspicious that he actually died there. I mean, we saw blood on the walls, but that could have been set up. So I'm very. And remember, this is totally blind. I'm just guessing here. I have a feeling that's not the last we're gonna see of 9, but we'll see. Let's continue on. June's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed as the minutes ticked by, and eventually they stopped. Then suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that enveloped them like a thick fog, a bell began to ring. The clock in the central hall. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then, on the 10th ring, it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence.
It's 10 o'clock then.
Ace said what each one of them had been thinking.
That means it's been an hour since Zero's little announcement.
Bad. That's 1 hour out of 9, right? And we've really accomplished nothing here. 7's deep voice echoed across the room.
Fuck! I've had enough of this crap!
Santa leapt to his feet, his fists clenched.
How long are we gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've only got 8 hours until this time limit Zero is going on about is up! Let's get going already! Go! Go!
Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Finally, Lotus spoke.
No, I refuse. I'm not gonna end up like him.
Him? You mean the 9th man?
Of course, who else?
In his mind's eye, Jumpy saw the corpse again.
Blood. Oh. Blood and pieces of flesh.
The dark, reddish-black pool of blood. The scattered pieces of flesh. Organs strewn across the floor like the blossoming of a grotesque flower. The explosion that had torn through his body had been powerful.
That's no way for a person to die.
The 9th man's neck had been twisted at an odd angle. Oh, so you could see the body. Okay. Jumpy suspected the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half of his face was crushed and the other half was covered in blood, so they couldn't see his face. Most of his abdomen had been emptied, either by the explosion or by gravity. He had landed on his back, and stark white ribs jutted up out of his chest, like the legs of some sort of macabre crab. Jumpy felt something flip in his stomach.
I think he just screwed up.
Eyebrows went up, and Santa continued.
He probably set off some sort of trap, and that killed him. I'm not gonna screw up like that. I'm getting out of here alive!
Whatever Snake was laughing at, Santa did not find particularly humorous.
What's so goddamn funny?
Oh, my apologies. You were just, so very confident. I couldn't help myself.
Snake's got a bit of sarcasm in him.
What the fuck?
I think you've mistaken the situation.
Yeah, I think what Snake's is trying to get at here is that we're not really in control here at all.
Huh?
The 9th man's death. It had nothing to do with the trap. Or at least not the sort of trap you imagine it did.
Then?
He broke one of Zero's rules. That was why he died. Quite simple if you think about it.
Is it because he went in alone and not with the two people that whose number we used to get in?
Huh?
You still don't... All right. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said? Specifically, what did he say about the number of people?
He said only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door, right?
And after that? You've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say?
Santa furrowed his brow in thought. Jumpy thought back. Zero said only 2 people can go through, that everyone who verified had to go, more than 6 people can go through. I'm pretty sure it's that everyone who verified had to go.
All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute, right? I think it was something like that. Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go through.
That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei.
Snake inclined his head toward Junpei. I think I'm going to start calling him Junpei again, because calling him Jumpy is kind of taking away from it. Junpei.
The 9th man, however, broke that rule. He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. That was why he was executed.
And Zero's watching us from somewhere, making sure we don't break any rules.
Oh, I'm not so sure of that.
Why not?
Because this execution system is entirely automatic. You didn't notice?
I mean, you can't be sure. Although, it's interesting that that Snake, who's blind, kind of noticed the beeps more than anyone else, because of course he can't see, right? So his hearing is what he depends on.
There's no need for him to monitor us.
What do you mean?
Snake looked at Seven with what could only be described as pity and sighed.
Very well. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I had hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but that seems increasingly unlikely.
He couldn't see them, of course, but perhaps Snake sensed the confused eyes upon him. When Ace spoke, he gave words to everyone else's thoughts.
Do you know something?
Well, I know a great many things, but yes.
What is it you know?
He's a bit of a smartass, isn't he?
Here.
Snake removed a card from the pocket of his jacket.
A card? What does it say?
Do we all have cards, too?
See for yourself.
With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke.
Come on now, what's the point of giving me this?
Give me that.
I might have skipped something there by accident. Sorry if I did. Santa snatched the card from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion.
Huh? The hell is this?
Seven tugged it out of Santa's hands.
I see.
The card went from Seven to Lotus, from Lotus to June, finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood.
This is Braille.
Okay, right. Braille, the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small embossed bumps. Is that his copy of the rules? Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it.
Sorry guys, I can't read this. Here, have it back.
Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk.
Okay, that was fun. What's so important about that card?
I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it is a message from Zero.
From Zero?
A message?
What does it say?
Suddenly, everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if you were about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake raised his hand.
Calm down now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it.
Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He was not the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm. His fingers glided over the tiny bumps as he spoke.
Bracelet number 2.
That's Snake.
Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you and only you with information.
Okay, he's sharing it. He could have chosen not to do this, I guess.
I shall tell you of the function of the red, of the dead, and of the bracelet.
Red and dead. What does that mean?
The red is the recognition device.
Okay. Right, red recognition device. RED.
It will
Makes sense.
verify your number. Beside every numbered door, you will find a red. The dead is the deactivation device. It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the numbered door, you must use the dead to stop the detonator in your bracelet.
Oh, there's a detonator in the bracelet. Okay.
But perhaps you are wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I am afraid this might be something of surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside of you
Oh,
and
God.
the people who you are about to meet.
Oh my god.
You swallowed it while you were unconscious. I have no doubt, by the time you read this note, the bomb will have passed your stomach and found its way to your small intestine.
So are we gonna poop it out soon?
In other words, you will be unable to regurgitate it. I suggest you do not try. As I mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse, or timer, for the bomb in your body. There is only one condition which will cause it to detonate. That condition is that you enter a numbered door.
Okay.
Once you have done so, the timer will activate, no matter who you may be.
How do we deactivate
You
it?
will have 81 seconds. If, after that time, the detonator has not been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body, instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, every person who verified their number at the red must also verify their numbers at the dead.
Okay.
Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you need only pull the lever at its side, and the countdown will cease. Anyone who does not verify their number at the red will find themselves unable to verify their number at the dead. That is to say, if you should pass through a numbered door without first verifying your number at the red, in 81 seconds, you will be dead.
Gotcha.
You
81
must
seconds.
also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed.
That's such a strange number to pick. Why 81 seconds?
So long as the doors open, the dead will not function. You would do well to remember this.
So sorry, is the dead on the is it on the inside of the doors?
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets.
We can remove the bracelets.
There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0.
Interesting.
In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the exotic wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. There is no other way to remove your bracelet. If you attempt to force it off or disable the detonator, the bomb within you will immediately explode.
This is all the information which I can impart to you.
Would have been nice to know that before, Snake.
How you choose to use it is for you to decide.
Okay, so I guess Snake just decided not to tell him because he wanted him to die.
If used wisely, you can eliminate those who might be a danger to you. For a time, you would be able to control your fate. I wish you the best of luck.
Interesting that he decided to give it to him. Huh. Snake finished reading and carefully returned the card to his pocket.
So it's saying only those who verify their numbers at the red can pass through the numbered doors. Teams can't add or subtract people after they're scanned in. The reds, deads, and bracelets enforce the rules. They're judge, jury, and executioner.
Okay, that makes sense though.
Shit! A fucking bomb! Come out! Come out, damn it!
He's trying to make himself vomit. In defiance of Zero's suggestions, both Santa and Seven put fingers down their throats and began to gag. I mean, it's probably worth a shot. You never know. Maybe you have a slow digestive system. The rest stiffened. Some touched their stomachs. Some simply stared at their bracelets. Junpei gingerly touched his stomach.
There's a bomb inside me.
The thought of it made him queasy.
Oh.
His stomach felt oddly hollow and his legs were weak.
What made Zero think creating this horror show of a game was a good idea?
What's driving Zero to do this? That's what I'm most curious about. Junpei looked over at the others.
All right. I'm gonna ask one more time. Do any of you know anything about Zero?
They were all silent, each person waiting to hear what the others would say. It seems like everyone, it seems like some people have gotten some extra things. I wonder if someone else has some more info that they're just hiding to possibly bring it out later. Finally, Santa spoke.
Actually, I saw him. I saw Zero when I got grabbed.
So did we. Okay.
I didn't see his face, though. Son of a bitch was wearing some kind of gas mask. What the hell? Come on, guys, give me something. You know, like surprise or something?
Maybe we all saw him. Instead, it was Santa who looked surprised. There was a moment of silence, and then everyone spoke at once.
I saw that too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I did as well.
Me too. I didn't see inside the mask, though. That mask, it was really scary.
Huh?
Oh, so all of our abductions were the same. We were taken from home at midnight. The person claiming to be Zero had a mask on. There was white smoke, and then each of us passed out. We woke up to find ourselves on D-Deck, in a room with a 3-level bunk bed.
How about you, Seven? Did the same happen to you?
When I first saw Zero and I saw the mask, I thought to myself, maybe it's one of us. Zero is one of us. Is it possible? I don't know. But just knowing games like this, knowing stories like this, that's kind of running through my mind as this goes on. Only 7 stories seem to lack the detail of the others.
Oh, me? Yeah, well, mine was just like the rest of yours.
Doesn't seem too convinced. That was all he had said. It had occurred to Junpei at the time that it sounded somewhat strange, but he didn't press the issue.
Okay, that's good enough for now.
He hadn't done so because there was something that struck him as even stranger.
So, I have a question.
That was the mystery of the relationship between Snake and Clover.
Snake and Clover, you were both kidnapped from the same room, and you woke up together.
Junpei looked at them thoughtfully.
So, what's the deal with the two of you anyway?
It was Clover that answered. Clearly, she felt she had nothing to hide.
We're siblings.
Ah, okay.
Siblings?
Yes?
Really look alike at all.
Snake is my older brother, obviously. that means I'm his little sister. That really so hard to understand?
Junpei was taken aback. The others seemed just as surprised.
She is correct, of course.
He laid his hand on Clover's shoulder.
Are you, surprised?
I'm very surprised.
Well, yeah, but
Why? There are other people here with connections to one another. Those two, for instance.
Snake pointed at Junpei and June.
Oh, you mean between Jumpy and me?
Ah, yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you?
Wait, you went to school together?
Yeah.
June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with the sudden attention.
Well, yeah.
Junpei felt somewhat nervous as well and tried to scratch his head as casually as possible.
Hey, you think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way?
yeah, you're right. You connect the dots between the victims, and that leads you to the perp. Textbook stuff.
He's talking kind of like a police officer. We get to know what everyone's story is in the quote-unquote real world.
Junpei. June. Does any of this ring a bell?
Huh, ring a bell.
Ring a bell?
They looked at one another. And like it was staged, they both tilted their neck at the same time.
Well, perhaps you went to school with the son of a multimillionaire.
A millionaire?
Son?
Well, someone bought this boat and set up all of this.
Good point. They'd have to have a lot of money.
Whoever Zero is, they must be incredibly rich.
Well, we can't be sure of that. To me, this seems as though it's the work of an organization, not an individual. Most likely, Zero is simply the representative of a larger group.
What sort of organization?
It could be a number of things. An army, perhaps, or a research group. Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment.
If it is, then it's a pretty fucked up experiment.
No kidding.
I mean, come on! A guy's dead!
The word dead hung in the air, heavy and ominous. The room went quiet again.
I don't know who the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's gotta be pretty fucked up in the head to do all this. If this was all one guy, then he's got some serious issues.
Even with the specter of death hanging over them, their discussions continued for some time. Clock is ticking, guys. You gotta do something.
I thought we were finished with that topic.
But then what should we do?
We should talk it through.
Oh my god, enough! All we're doing is talking!
I'm kind of like siding with Santa here. We gotta do something. Santa threw up his hands. His voice was filled with irritation.
Talking won't solve anything! It can't help us find our way out of here! You really sure you want to just sit around? We've only got 7.5 hours left. We already wasted an hour and a half of our 9 hours.
Everyone there was already on the edge of panic. What Santa told them only made that feeling more intense. No one was willing to argue this time.
You're right.
Very well then. There's only one way for us to proceed.
Sure not gonna be fun running around knowing we gotta jump when Zero says jump.
Well, it's stupid to just sit around here doing nothing.
Well, thanks to Snake's card, at least we have some idea of how this all works.
Correct. And so long as we all follow the rules, we will most likely be all right.
But
But what?
who's going to go in which door?
June looked toward the numbered doors.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can't have any more than 5 people in one door. All 8 of us can't go in the same door.
Then it would seem we will have to split up.
Wait,
Lotus looked terrified.
I'm telling you now, there is no way in hell that I'm going into door 5.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Come on now, don't be selfish.
Call me whatever the hell you want. I'm not going in there.
I mean, we know what happened to 9. So we should be able to avoid that. It's not like it was something special about that particular door.
If I'm going to have to walk through all that blood, then I'd rather stay here.
And we were doing so well.
That's a fair point, though. I don't think I'd want to walk through the blood either. Ace shook his head sadly.
Sorry, but I ain't going in there either. Someone else can go into door 5.
I'll go into door 5, goddammit.
Oh, Santa, not you too.
Hey man, I just bought these shoes. If you think I'm getting some creepy dude's blood all over him, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, that's the reason why. It's not because you're freaked out. That was the last straw.
What the hell, man? Weren't you the one who kept saying we should get going?
Yeah, so? Doesn't mean I wanted to go into door 5.
Oh, God.
There's an awkward silence. A lot of awkward silences so far. Finally, 7 spoke.
Fine, I'll go into door 5. I can't go in there alone, though.
That kind of limits who can actually go in there, though, right? He's 7, so...
Anyone else willing to come with me?
There's another long silence. This time Snake was the one to break it.
I'll go.
What?
Don't worry. You'll be fine.
That's, what, 7 and 2, that's 9.
We may part now, but I'm certain we'll meet again later.
How do you know that?
Because I do.
So that would mean that we'd have to go with them.
That's not an answer! If you're going, I'm going too. I'm going into door 5.
What am I going to do with you?
Can she actually come in, though?
There's nothing you have to do.
Ace stepped forward.
If I join you, the problem is solved, correct? 7 is 7, and Snake is 2.
Right.
And if you add Clover's 4 and my 1, the digital route will be 5.
Ah, right. Okay, good.
7 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 is 14. The digital root of 14. 1 plus 4 is 5.
Oh, it works perfectly! The 4 of us can go into door 5.
Wait, what about the other 4? What's their digital route gonna be?
Junpei did a quick mental calculation.
Lotus, Santa, June, and me. Our bracelet numbers are 8, 3, 6, and 5.
All right, everybody, do the math.
8, 3, 6, 5. What would our digital route be?
Maybe. Do we have to do it ourselves? Oh, we do have to do it ourselves. 8 plus 3 is 11. 6 plus 5 is 11. That's 22. So that's 4. Because 2 plus 2 is 4, right?
8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 5 is 22. So, the digital root of 22, 2 plus 2 equals 4.
I wonder what happens if you get it wrong. He repeated what he'd determined.
It's 4.
So that works.
Add up our 4 bracelet numbers and the digital root is 4.
That's rather convenient.
Then we can go into door 4.
Yeah. Huh. That worked out well.
So the team assignments will be like this. 7, Snake, Clover, and Ace. They would go through door 5. Lotus, Santa, June, and me will go through door 4. Are these really the teams I want? Beyond door 5 is what remains of the 9th man. I never want to see that thing again, but something's telling me that it'd be a good idea to examine the corpse, even just a little closer.
Do we have a choice on who goes where then?
Of course, if I went through door 5, I wouldn't be going with Lotus and Santa. I could bring June with me through door 5, but that means she'd have to see the body in there. I don't want to put her through that.
Junpei was torn.
Should I stay silent and go through door 4? Or should I stop them and insist on door 5?
As he turned his options over and over in his mind, Ace spoke up.
All right, then. It seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go?
He began to walk toward door 5.
I'm going through door 5.
Clover and Snake followed, with Seven a short distance behind.
We're over there too, right, Snake?
The door's not going anywhere. Slow down.
Which door?
Jeez. I kinda see both points. I think I'll make the decision on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Luckless Lovelocks signing off for now. And I love you all.